and I hope you're all doing fine. Tonight we are discussing important issue for all our young 2019 young aspirants who are new generation aspirants, and this is very crucial and we have to take it seriously tonight. My name is Segun O'Law once again, in case you are meeting me for the first time or it's the first time on our show. But importantly, let us begin because there's no time to waste. Okay, I'm also trying to see how I can bring your live comments on the show. I want to see how in the meantime I can get more people to join up before we begin to wheel them out. Tonight we are going to be discussing, there are so many obstacles. Of course, it's just like somebody starting a new business altogether. You expect obstacles, right? Okay, fine. So, but to make it easy, we bring them together and present them, before one another, and it becomes easier to solve the moment you have them, chunked into one. All right, it becomes easier to defeat the problems. So I have highlighted or identified and decided to make major 3 obstacles that our young presidential aspirants are going to face if the elections were tomorrow or even 2019, as long as the time seems. 2019, as I said, is a long time. However, it's like tomorrow. So what are the 3 major obstacles? There are many obstacles even for the incumbents, right? But the 3 major obstacles for new entrants into the polity is what I am about to let us all talk about. 3 major obstacles because they will be a bit, those are going to be like the major, that will be a bit hard to trash. Shall we begin? Are you ready? And meanwhile, before I start reading them out, if you're online, you can start bringing your comments. Don't forget, as it's the tradition, we'll be displaying the live chats so that all of us can, begin to talk about the solutions already. So I can see some of you already coming online. Start coming. Let's do this, no time. Obstacle number 1. All right? Alright, number 1 problem or obstacle they are going to encounter, you already saw it there. Let me display once again for those of you that didn't see clearly. But in summary, the obstacle number 1 is going to be structure. Alright, it's going to be structure. And when we say structure, and I'm happy that most of you already understand what structure means. Structure is not physical, or what you call the physical. Excuse me, let me do something quickly. Let me display it once again and do something quickly about the audio. It's not that clear. Alright, so let me quickly display it. I hope the audio is better this time. Okay, good. I think it's better. I can hear it better myself. All right, so let's get going. You saw it. Number 1 challenge or obstacle that young presidential aspirants in 2019 are going to confront is structure. And when we say structure, don't forget that, as I said, structure does not mean the physical building, maybe campaign office, or where you gather people. No, structure is not property. Structure means people. APC and PDP can boast of structure because they can boast of, say, about, they know how many millions of people per state that they have, that they already have monetized that will do works for them. All right. So when we say structure, new entrants do not readily have that structure because they are coming in for the first time. Okay, so it's not going to be that easy for new entrants to say they are structure. They do not have structure. I don't know why my focus is going blurry. All right, so when we say structure, we mean people. And when we say people, we mean dedicated campaign carriers, mobilizers, grassroots soldiers, polling unit agents, and monitors. And let me make this clear. You need people who will not compromise. On election day is the D-Day. There are some polling unit agents who would compromise and sell results or connive with agents of other political parties who are paying higher. You know, they see it as opportunity to, the phrase, make it, collect money, connive, and they change the result with INEC officials. I know some young core members who confessed to, you know, assisting them before. The moment they notice that the two agents have agreed, well, let's change the results before it gets to. After all, it is the result they write and agree to and send to the headquarters, and both of them sign, that is valid. All right. So when we say structure, we mean serious structure. Okay. All right. Let us go to what will be the second, and don't see this as discouragement. Don't forget that the title of the topic or the discussion we have today is the obstacles and the solutions. So we are not discussing exclusively the obstacles alone, right? We are also discussing the solutions. And the solutions will not be given by me alone. We are going to discuss the solutions together. But the reason we are discussing these obstacles is to make them visible, flexible, and simple, so that these young aspirants can strategize, because there's still ample time to do so, strategize to solve these challenges. Then we go to obstacle number 2. Now, to those of you who understand, when we say finance, we do not mean the same amount of money that is required to start popcorn business. All right, it's not the same amount of money that you require to start ice cream business somewhere in Dumota or Lagos. No, we are talking about finance, the kind of finance that will compete with when Lagos wants to mobilize people for campaign at Teslim Balogun Stadium. All right, and when they want to mobilize for El Rufai in Kaduna, when Amusu wants to mobilize in Ogun State, and we are talking about 36 states, including now Ekiti, now Rivers. Take note, now Ekiti, now Rivers. So, what am I simply trying to say? We are talking about the kind of finance that will compete them. Take note, in 2015, when APC was going to deliver, election against the incumbents, they prosecuted that election with finance, serious finance that made it easy to defeat, the dollar-spending former President Goodluck Jonathan. All right? So if you want to prosecute this kind of election, you need serious money. And I'm not saying you should go and therefore be desperate, no. But it's just to help you to start working ahead. So you need serious finance. And when we talk about finance, let me make something quickly clear. All the states have been entirely unionized. All the states of the federation have been entirely unionized by the federal government. So states being controlled by APC, even PDP, are highly unionized. So when they want to mobilize, this is what they do. They give money to leader of the market women to go and do what? They give money to leader of the market women to mobilize all the market women. They give money to leader of the NURTW to mobilize their members. They give money to leader of the LCDA chairman to mobilize their people. They give money to student leaders to mobilize students. So when I say highly unionized, that's what I mean. Now, you need to therefore strategize to defeat this kind of system. All right? To defeat this kind of systems. Let's start thinking solutions together as we are highlighting these problems. Don't forget, number one, we said structure. Our youth or new entrant politicians do not have the requisite structures in terms of people up to the ward or grassroots levels to win election against the incumbent as we speak, if elections were tomorrow morning. So, number one obstacle will be structure. Number two will be finance. Lagos State government, for instance, has the war chest alone to deliver the election of half of Nigeria. All right? So, what am I simply trying to say is not to discourage you or to make you feel weary. No. It's to say this is how to prepare for it. You can imagine when they said they wanted to close the third mainland bridge for maintenance works. By the time they opened it, what did you see? You see posters of President Muhammadu Buhari for 2019 flooding the entire stretch of long kilometers of the bridge. What does it mean? It simply means that the state government, government in power, has taken the strategic, conspicuous location at the center that connects the mainland and the island in Lagos State and swamped it with campaign posters for Buhari 2019. Let's be wise. What does this tell us? They're simply telling us that, I don't know why my camera is blowing out. Let me adjust my seat. Girl. It's like these Buhari people are here tonight. For at any rate, I'm not here to fight Buhari now. Why are you attacking my camera now? But anyways, let's continue. All right. What I'm simply saying is the camera focus will get back. Don't worry. Leave it. At least you can see and hear me. Okay, so by the time they opened the third mainland bridge, you saw what happened. Campaign posters are flooded everywhere. How many of you can single-handedly go and put campaign poster of the person you are supporting? From beginning of the bridge till the end, it confirms two things. Number one, power is within your hand. Okay? The security, the authority, and money to do it is within your capacity as the incumbent. So, you need to strategize to displace this, to make something work for you. That is number two obstacle I have identified. And I go to the third one. Now this is very important. Important in the sense that we have been discussing it for the past 3 days or so. You see, even if you have had the structure, and all of these people work and have their structures, all of this new young generation aspirants work and have their structures, if they get their finance, because I see some of them are already doing crowdfunding and getting support from diaspora to fund their campaign bids. If all of them do their own work very well, all right, the vote will be divided. So this very third point is so germane. Let me display it again so that you can see. I'm not going to display it totally, but you can see it, as watermark. All right? Division among several aspirants. So if we present a united front, we will solve problem number 3. But how easy is it? We know the solution is present a united front. It is simple, but it is not as simple as A, B, C. Why? Because it will not be easy to get a united front. All of these people want to run, or most of them want to run. So those are the 3 major obstacles. Let me run them over again. Number 1, I mentioned structure. None of them has the structure, at least for now, that topples that of the incumbents. If elections will be, in fact, next week, not even tomorrow, next week. Although I recognize that most of them are already working. But let us begin to therefore look at the solutions. Number 2, I mentioned finance. Who among all these aspirants has the financial war chests that can topple what Lagos will give Buhari? Ogun will offer for the re-election of Buhari. Ekiti will offer for re-election of Buhari. Other states belonging to APC, including now, divisively Akwa Ibom, Kogi, and the rest of them. How many states can this young generation aspirants presently boast of? I'm not saying they will not win. Don't quote me wrong. We're only looking at what will be obstacle that they must defeat and how to strategize to get the answers or solutions to them. Having mentioned these 3 things, the third one, again, is division among the aspirants. They will divide their votes and make the incumbent close to victory. Having said these 3 things, how do we then begin to solve them? Just the same way I've listed the 3 obstacles, I also have 3 solutions I've suggested to make it, to let us, to set the tone for our conversation tonight. Solution number 1, as I've suggested here, would be this. Touch the grassroots and tap into existing voting population. Again, touch the grassroots and tap into existing voting population. Don't forget that I said that the country has been highly unionized, such that you wonder why, if there will be NBA election, as in lawyers, Nigerian Bar Association election, government will have their own candidate that they are sponsoring. It's not for any other reason. It's not because they are interested in the welfare of lawyers. No. It's because they want to influence that lawyer to influence their members when it is time for political election. When it is time for NURTW, most of them start running to, Body Lawn and the rest of other places. Why? Because they know that they are interested to use them for election. All right. I mentioned also that there is LCDA. Every residential area in Lagos State has LCDA chairman or chairperson, and they are being mobilized too by the government for this purpose. Do not also forget I mentioned even students, where we expect that these young aspirants will have their own, at least, field. The moment student leaders are given money, don't forget that there is NANS. That is, the government also sponsors candidates to win NANS election. So, have all this at the back of your mind. Therefore, to develop your own structure, you are doing fine. But you must, to win election, you must eat into the existing population also. The existing population of these highly unionized sectors that government is paying into because they want to use them. You must eat into their own markets while they are working on your own new markets. The new markets are those that have never voted before, that you are asking to come and vote. The people you are convincing to register for PVCs. You are doing fine. It is new markets. But it is not enough. You must still eat into the grassroots. the existing market that these incumbents bank on every time. You must eat into them and cut your share of them. And don't forget, I mentioned yesterday, if you can't get them to work for you, at least get them not to work against you. It's very important. If they work against you, it will militate against you. So if you cannot at least get them to work for you, make sure you get them to work, not to work against you. So you must eat into their existing population of strongholds. So you must touch the grassroots. How many of them are touching the grassroots? If you enter the markets today, Juelegba, if I mention any of these names, do you think they know it as much as they know Buhari? If I mention any of these young aspirants' names in Songwater market, how many of the market women there know this name as we speak? That is what we call structure. The structures are already there for the incumbents. So you must eat into that structure too while you are working on your own new market. You must get your share of that existing market. Touch the grassroots. Number 2, suggestion to address the number 2 obstacle we have identified. Don't forget the second obstacle we have identified is what? Finance. And here's my suggestion. My suggestion here is that you must aggressively raise fund. Aggressively raise fund. What do I mean by that? Because small funds will not be enough. No. Small funds will not be enough. The fund of, somebody gave me, I opened one account and within 2 weeks, I've raised 200,000 naira. Hello. It's not enough. Don't forget that the people you want to come and displace or you want to come and contend with are people who are collecting money in billions every day, revenue in billions every day, and they are not necessarily doing anything with it. Those are doing something with it, they are doing little with it, and the rest they are just stockpiling it, preparing for the next election. So you must prepare by raising your own funds too aggressively. And if you ask me, what would you need fund for alone? You are going to 774 local governments. And if you then begin to calculate the number of ward units in each of these 774 local governments, how do you get? You can't be everywhere. You need to fund some things. You buy electoral materials, campaign materials. You must also be able to convince or persuade people that you have crowd at each of your campaign programs. What does this mean? You must be able to have huge crowd that can that can compete with the size of crowd APC would have at their own convention or rallies too. Otherwise, people will just laugh at you and say you are a joke. So if you can get the crowd that APC will get for their own rallies at each of the 36 states of the country, they will see you as a threat. They will then know that you are serious. Then you are doing business. That is when your news will even touch the grassroots. They will say, Eroma Pombe, Yakwagon, they look at your crowd. Some people will not support you until they see that you truly have the crowd. So if they attend your rally and they see that there is huge crowd, they begin to believe you. That, this guy can actually put this through. Because the crowd that are following him is serious. But how do you get this crowd? How does the APC get this crowd? They mobilize them. And that is where number 2 solution comes in again, aggressive fundraising. There are some people who want to work for you, but they are handicapped. They don't have the money to move from one place to the other. So you mobilize them. So if you can mobilize, which is where solution number 2 comes in again, it will be walkover. It will be easier. All right. So solution number 3. Don't forget problem number 3 or obstacle number 3 is division among the aspirants. All of them want to run. Okay. What should then be the solution number 3? Is this. Present a united front. If you can get a united front, it will be easy for all youths to say, okay, this is where I vote, or at least majority of the youth to say this is where our votes are going to. But again, what is the solution to presenting a united front? Don't forget that there's this pact, presidential aspirants coming together, which does not look to me like it would be that. But let's wait for it. I don't want to foreclose. All right. It's that pact is addressing this question number 3. All right. But how willing are these aspirants to make sure that pact works? Pact is doing what will address obstacle number 3. But will these aspirants submit themselves and let there be a united front? All right. So those are the 3 suggestions I have to the 3 major obstacles I have highlighted. Let me now hear what you have to say, and I can see that a lot of you are already online and discussing it. Okay. So I'm going to display your comments now, and let us interact and discuss it. All right. Give me just a minute. I want to import these comments on the live display so that all of us can use it to work. We seek in place by doing these things that we're talking about. It would be Araya. Say, I feel everyone should use their smartphones when they cast their votes. Yes, you're right. So that we can do proper election monitoring. But the question still is, how many of these people who are smart to use their phones want to vote, want to go through, want to endure the process of accreditation, voting, vote counting, monitoring, and result announcing? If we can get them to do this, fine, fantastic strategy. It will be fantastic if we can get it to happen. It will be, you came back and said, send ballot paper electronic snaps to a collation hub. This can be used to counter fraud. I agree. It's to buttress what you earlier said. I agree with you. Olu Mendes say, having a stronghold on the labor trade unions are always a good trick in Nigerian politics as always. Do you know what? Thank you, Ibubi, for that contribution. But do you know what? Like I mentioned earlier, the incumbents or those that are in control of politics are always always interested in who becomes chairman of every union or president of every organization. So they sponsor their own stooges, their own people to go in and take the structures because they will need them. So labor trade unions are not exception to what we're discussing here. Maxwell Jason say, I'm not going to read anyone that has to do with party now because we are discussing how we can get it. Daudu Sheil say, it doesn't still mean anything. If they like, they put his posters on the trees. Okay, you're talking about the posters on the Third Mainland Bridge. We were only using it as an example of how the statists use their powers to make sure that most of the things you cannot do as an individual, they do it already. And they are using it to gain grounds. So how would you then, solve this? How would you break into or hijack or overwhelm these state powers? If you don't strategize and you say it doesn't mean it does. It is campaign already. All right, that thing already means campaign. That thing is already creating awareness. That thing is already sensitizing. That thing is already putting the image of who the respective states want to perpetuate in office. So you don't dismiss it or discard it by giving a shrug and saying it doesn't matter. It does matter, especially to those that are always voting every 4 years for them. It matters. They are creating awareness. If you don't create, let us assume that instead of President Muhammadu Buhari, the posters that flood the Third Mainland Bridge from beginning till the end, immediately after it was opened from maintenance, 4 days maintenance exercise. Imagine that the pictures there are Mogalu or Showore or Durotoye. Do you know the traffic on that Third Mainland Bridge every day is over 3 million or so by my own estimation? I mean the number of people that pass on that bridge every day. Each bus conveying people to Obalende from either Makoko or from all the way from Oshodi, Adekunle, the eyes that see it on daily basis are over 3 million. And they will now see it from beginning of the bridge till the end. And those are the people that vote, the grassroots people that are passing on the Third Mainland Bridge, and you say it doesn't matter. My brother, it overdoes, it overmatters. So we must touch the grassroots. And the way to touch the grassroots is examples like this. We can do online, yes, to mobilize new people who have not voted before, or those who are just obtaining their PVC to say, this should be the direction of your vote. We can do that. But like I said, we must eat into the existing market, the current market of those that they are using every 4 years. We must eat into it to be able to claim victory. All right? I go to the next comment. Maxwell say money will fail them. An example of Ekiti. Shebi? Well, I have hope too. I love hope. But I always balance hope with reality. Reason being that balancing hope with reality helps you to strategize better so that you can forecast or predict what they are going to do and strategize on how not to make it happen against you. So money will fail in the sense that people may not vote according to how much they are collecting or what party is paying what. But money will not fail in the sense that getting your message to every grassroots. We are talking about 774 local government areas. Printing campaign posters, materials, getting people, mobilizing people. You need money. So money will not fail. Oh. Let us not live under that illusion. Money will not fail outright. APC used money in 2015. They outspent Buhari. That was why they could win. Otherwise, don't think money will fail. Oh. Let's not preempt. Let's not foreclose it. Money will not fail, bro. Maxwell. Sir Maxwell. Pa Maxwell. Money will not fail. Let's get it right. So we must do aggressive fundraising for the aspirants we support. Alright? Olumenze say really good points. People's personal ambitions are getting in the way of a collective effort and sincere effort. That's why I keep mentioning it, bro. That's why I've been emphasizing it for the past 3 days. We have to find a way to make sure that it is one person so that we can aggregate the votes and see what we can pull. So the election campaign will now become very strong if we can have just one person and others are now, using their strength and muscle to do the work for that person. It will happen. Olumenze say door-to-door campaign is key. I don't know if you have heard the story of this MIT graduate that came to contest for local government chairmanship election in Lagos State recently. Gbadebo Roots Vivo. He did door-to-door. On the day of election, I'll tell you the story on another day. Let me not put it in this episode. I don't want it to be unnecessarily long. I'll tell you that story. Door-to-door will do some work, but election is the D-Day. Election starts from the eve. You can create awareness now and do campaign. Yes, it's for awareness. The election is on the eve of election and the morning of election. We can easily predict at that hour because do door-to-door is fine, all right? But let's not foreclose what we already know and we can predict so that we can strategize to overcome them. Isama say, Erife say none of them. Do I know what you mean? Okay, you mean none of these current aspirants has the kind of structure that would displace the incumbent as we speak? Yes, that's what we're saying in essence. None of them has. If elections were tomorrow. Isama say, you have foresight. Thank you so much, bro. But I'm not saying it so that I can be praised. I'm saying it so that we can, brainstorm together and see how we can make things work. I'll read all of your comments. Keep them coming. I'll try as much as possible to read everybody's comments. Okay. All right. Olumide say Freeborn Nation is a blogger. It doesn't have to support no one. Okay? Freeborn Nation. Okay, you are telling Freeborn that I'm a blogger, I don't have to support anyone. I can support one, no. If all of them agree to present one person, I will support that person, no. I'm not a joke, I'm not calling you a joke. Why am I not talking about the existing structure? Why am I talking about new persons? I want new thing now. If they present one person, I will support too. I'm serious. I'm serious about that. Okay? Freeborn say, I want him to support. Yes, I will support if they present one person. And I just said it. Sheiban just said, that's what Trump did. Tap into democratic strongholds. You got it. While you are talking to a new set of people to come in and, bombard the structure, you also eat into the existing structure. It's very important. Eat into the existing structure so that you can share part of what they are relying on while you're also bringing new thing on board or new numbers on board. That is what we are simply saying. Freeborn Nation say, if he is paid, he won't do it. I don't know what you mean. Okay, if I am paid to do it, paid by who? Paid by who? I don't have sentiment for anybody. I'm just talking about how we can get things to be right. If you want to pay me, if I pay me, who will pay me? Oh, you mean if Buhari pays me, I will be talking about how to win election against Buhari? Or if, anyways, let's leave that. Daudu, you are laughing at it. Okay, fine. And you said organic crowd. I agree. Organic crowd. Organic crowd still needs, see, even talent, raw talent still needs sponsor. Right? Raw talent still needs adverts. Still needs adverts. Let me give you an example. Mogalu is going from one place to the other doing town hall meeting. What do you think he's spending saliva or he's spending urine? Shura is flying from UK today, Canada tomorrow, US to engage as many Nigerians you can find everywhere. And you are saying organic crowd. How will you get that organic crowd if you don't use resources to get to them? That's what we are saying. You need organic crowd, but you need resources to make it to work. You need it. Shonda said, don't worry, when the real election rally starts, many of the young aspirants will drop out of the race. Yeah, let's wait for that to happen. I agree with you. Some of them, as we speak, don't even have party yet. Some of them are only hopeful. They are not sure they will win their primaries. All right? Because in the end, even Mogalu, as much as many people are talking about him, Mogalu, we don't know until after primaries. If he wins, if he emerges from the primary, then we are now talking. But until then, Mogalu is not exactly, people are talking about him. He's a hopeful. All right? I love Mogalu's maturity. But until he wins primary in his party, as we speak right now, the only 3 people I can mention that are certain to remain after primary for now, Showore, because he's the chairman of his party, and that is smart. Tokwe Fasua is the creator of ANRP. He is sure that after primary, he will, except something else happens. Then the number 3 person is Eunice Atuejide, who is now the flag bearer already, because they already concluded their own congress or convention. Eunice Atuejide, that female aspirant, she's the flag bearer of NIP, National Interest Party. Those are the 3 that I know for now among these young generation aspirants who are sure that after primaries, they are good to go. But the rest, they may be making name, they may be doing town hall, they may be trying, but we don't know as yet about primaries, whether they will still remain. So you're right to say until after primary, most of them will still drop out after primary. I agree. Daudushen says, stop the music. Thank you. I noticed it too, that it's distracted, so I stopped it. Thank you so much. Olumene say, coming together of all young aspirants is key. Without that, it's all a fruitless exercise. I mean, Showore, Mogalu, and all of them working as a team. I agree with you, and that is why solution number 3 I have mentioned. If all of these people work together and present just one person, I don't care who they present one person, it will be easier. It will be easier than now. But maybe after primaries, things will take shape. After primaries, we will know who and who is remaining, and then we can now say, okay, among those that are remaining, let us now find one. If only they will agree to sacrifice and bring forward only one person. That's say we can't hear. No, I've stopped the music already. Or is it still sounding? I stopped the music already, alright? Freeborn says, bro, stop your music. I've stopped it. Thank you so much. Okay. Sheyiban just said, I think pact looks good on paper, but no action yet. They need to make up their minds by the end of September so they can campaign together as one. Only may they say, thanks, Banjo, my point exactly. Each of my say, no be lie, Banjo. Are you talking about pact? The pact looks like not real. Well, let's wait for it. Freddy Worldwide Entertainment Fred says, I'm writing from Malta, Ireland. I strongly believe we should in all fronts, all these cabal lifeless leaders we lost. Let Nigeria come together. Talk with all these aspirants to come together. That's what we're trying to do. If they can present one person, I don't care who it is, they will now begin to talk what to do from there. But as it stands right now, the obstacles that are apparent and the solutions to them, they must come together. Okay, Desmond said they should first form a real united front. That's what we've been talking about. Freddie Worldwide says, Sheung, we are the entertainers we have in Nigeria. Just because they have some money to feed, they don't know their left to right. Hey, let's get something correctly. These entertainers are also in the payroll of some of these governors. And they may not come out for free. You can't get them to come out for free. It will not be easy. I don't want to mention names. Do you think you can call A-list artists to come to your campaign rally, for instance, to draw crowd, so as to draw crowd, and you will not pay? It will be, even those of them that believe in your aspiration, as Brother Mogalu or Uncle Showore or teacher Durotoye, they may believe in you, but if you don't pay to mobilize them or to bring them, they will not. So artists, they are doing their jobs. You can't exactly just direct them to come because they love you. They want to be paid though for their job, right? They don't care if you win. They are doing they want to be paid, especially in this body time when they are broke. All right. This one said, with United Front, they will then work together on grassroots. Okay, yes. But that United Front number 3 solution is very important. Okay. So many comments already flowing in. Freddie Worldwide said, look at what Bobin Wine is doing in Uganda. Where are the Two-Face, Whiskey, Don Jazzy, Techno, Davido, Flavor, Timaya, etc.? Let them pitch this dream with their music. Hey! All these names you just mentioned, na budget, na national budget. Well, I don't want to foreclose. Anything can happen. They may decide to say, we want a better country. And without being paid, we want to do this for free for so person. And that is only possible if all these people present one united front. Without that, I don't see it. If all these people present one united front and Mogalu is convincing Flavor, being Igbo, right? And other people that he knows are Igbo artists, say Techno, Solid Star, or maybe Two-Face, and then Shore is convincing the Yoruba artists, say Davido, Olamide, Wizkid, and the rest of them. It will work. But if you still want to divide them along, some artists go for Mogalu, some go for Shore, it will not still happen. So if we must achieve 2019, they must come together. Otherwise, let them do their foundational work ahead of 2023, respectively. All right, respectively. No bias. I'm just giving you what I know, and bring your own idea. Let us see it. I'm not trying to speak for or against anybody here. Osas Ewere say, good evening, brother. They allow APC to put their posters on the streets, and Shore was not allowed to take his poster into the airport. Shame on APC. That's what you wrote. Don't forget that election is for them is battle. I don't want to call it do or that, is battle. So they have to try to use security agency to threaten you to see how they can limit your reach. So it is you that must fight to say, no, my reach can reach here. So that thing she already did at the airport is to fight it, to say, no. See, development or evolution is like, according to, what's the name of, I'll remember his name. It says, oppression, thesis versus antithesis equals to synthesis. That is, oppression versus resistance will result to development. So what she already did there at the airport was a development. And it has enlightened so many people that you can take your campaign to anywhere. So the oppression policy met resistance. So they have, a duty to protect areas they know that you can manipulate to get your awareness across. It then depends on you to say, no, I'll resist it. It's not my portion, which is what you already did there. All right. Olati Lewa showed that they say Ekiti state election was determined by about 21% of registered voters. 21% registered voters that came out. All right. So, if 21% registered voters determine an election in Ekiti, is that not a precursor to 2019 if we are not careful? And we are still waiting for Osun State election too. So let us start preparing our minds and strategize if we must get it. I just wish and pray that they will agree to come together and work as one body. That will go a long way. I agree with you. That will say elections are won in the morning of election day. I mentioned that earlier. Thanks for buttressing it. Isioma say music is too high. Can't hear you. Well, I've turned the music off now and I won't play it again in future. Alright? We'll just maintain our conversation. Martin Sabeke say yes, this discussion should be between the young aspirants to come to a round table and make this work, because from all indications she already has the zeal and energy to follow the affair of the country. They should come together. That's the point. Olum Mendes say, do you see Pastor Bakari as a serious aspirant to consider to lead this pact? Pastor Bakari to lead this pact. Will he accept? That's number one. Number two is Pastor Bakari, if he will accept, I think that's the only concern. If he will accept, number two concern is, will these aspirants even want to subject themselves to pact in the first place? So those are the two concerns. That idiot, who do you refer to? You mean Pastor Bakari? Well, you say, I don't like the lady. Okay, you mean Eunice Atuejide. And you say Eunice is a fraud. I don't want to agree to that. You say she's dead on arrival. That's your opinion. After primaries, we'll know how many are remaining and who is going to be stronger in terms of campaign force. Okay. And then, so many comments. Where do I start from again here? Okay. You said they should all come together. That's Desmond. Daudushen said she tweeted something packed, and many people called her a feminist. Many ladies won't even vote her. Well, your opinion, things may change. 2019 is still a long time. Freeborn Nation say, I love your speech tonight. It's so painful how our leaders keep paying deaf ears to the less privileged Nigerians. Leaders are on the mountaintop and do not care about what happens to the masses. It's painful, I agree. Eddie Lotte, if they can't come together, that loophole will make incumbent president to manipulate his way. I am a Nigerian in diaspora. I want my country, Africa, to move forward. I agree with you. That's exactly why I'm also stressing myself here tonight and every night, talking about how this thing can work. Desmond say, for the entertainer, your point is right. They are really on payroll. They are on payroll. Get that straight. I know most of them. I've interviewed most of them. I work with some of them. I know. I meet one of them one-on-one, so I know. They will not come for free. Most of them, as I know it, they want to be paid for their job. And they will charge you professionally, the professional fee, to come and perform. And they will not even necessarily campaign for you. Their own job is to just get or star appearance to perform their normal song and see, well, it depends on the voters. Okay? Olumide say, I actually don't think the lady is suitable presidential candidate. You are talking about Eunice Atuejide. Well, I don't want to talk down on anybody's aspiration here. Olani Yadu say, I think any discussion about PAC should take place after their respective primaries. I agree with you. Should take place after primaries. so that it will not be biased, so that those that have been working hard and those that already have platform for primaries and after primaries will not be working for somebody that does not even have, you know, the clouds to win primary in his own party. I agree with you. Only many say, but egos. Okay, you continue by saying, but egos is what is playing out here. I really don't see them coming together. Oh, if they don't come together, what do you think we can do? They will not win this election. Forget it. Except they all want to work respectively to prepare their foundation for 2023. But 2019, if they don't come together, I don't see it working. Sheiban just say, please forget Olamide, Lagos State Governor's son, that APC. Most of them are sons to respective governors in other states now. Fino also mentions the name of his own governor too. Most of them are on payrolls. They are on payrolls. Okay? Freddy Worldwide Entertainment says, I'm running for Shore here in Italy, Spain, Malta, Germany, and everybody is coming together, coming home to cast a vote. So if the entertainers can't do something, let them live like Jah to another country. You can. It's their country too. You can send them out. All right. There's one say male and female tickets will change these things a lot. I agree with you. Male and female, and the sentiment in election that also works again is you combine southwest and north. You combine south and north, or so just find a way to tweak it, or maybe east, south, east, south, north. Whichever way you can do it, it does some magic too. But make sure you get the strong persons from the north, from the south, from the east to work together and present one united front. That will do a lot of magic. I agree. Martins Abeke say Shore all the way. Well, Freddie Worldwide say Sheon, drop your number. Let's talk one-on-one, please. My name is not Sheon. I am Segun actually. Segun is my name. I should drop my number. Okay, you know what we'll do by next show. Or let me even type it already here. Let me type it. After this, I'm going to round off this conversation now. But the live video is going to remain published for you to come back and see. In the description of this video, you're going to see my number immediately after my name in the description box, which I'm already typing here. The number is 080 60 60 61 66. 60 60 61 66. Don't forget to add the Nigerian code +234. So I've already added it and it's going to save in the live video, in the description of this video. That's the number to reach me. Martin Abeke said, you have to read my comment, please. Oh, sorry, did I skip it? Let me look for it. I want every contribution to count, please, because they matter. You might be saying something that will be useful. Martin Abeke. What's the comment again? Martin Abeke, what's your comment? Oh, is it the one you say, Shore, all the way we have other positions and appointments to be made after the election is won? So let us come together and make this work. Okay, is that the comment? That Shore, all the way we have other positions and appointment. Okay, I've read it. We have other positions and appointment to be made after the election is won. So let us come together and make this work. All right, thank you so much for that comment. Let's keep the comments flowing. All right, the conversation should not end here, even if the live broadcast ends here. So let the conversations continue. Share this video. Let more people see it. Let us all share the idea of what is needed to be done. Then don't forget to also subscribe to this channel if you have not, because this kind of conversation will be happening every night, every evening, so that we can be chatting the cause forward every day. Then hit the bell button so that you get notified when I come online, and all of us can keep these conversations alive. I'm going to sign out now. And okay, Martin Abeke say thanks. Edilo say thanks. Thank you, everybody. I'm most grateful that you are understanding that these are points that are germane and we must really, really do something about. My name is Segun O'Law once again, and I'm signing out on this. I'm not able to read your comments because they are not coming in at the time
I'm reading comments. I'm sorry, but I'll come back to read other comments after the live broadcast is published. Again, thank you so much, and until I come your way next time, hopefully tomorrow, don't stop talking about things that matter. This is Nigeria, and we must make sure this country works for all of us.